If you are looking to write better Google ads, you have come to the right place. In today's video, we're going to be going over 7 amazing tips to help you write better Google ads copy that actually converts. This is basically like a little mini copywriting class all compact into one video. So today, before we do jump in, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here and to like the video if you find value today. I really do appreciate it a ton. My name is Corbin from Zoco Marketing. Let's jump right in. So tip number 1 that we are looking for here is always include a CTA or call to action in your ad. Now, this one may sound very obvious, but as I've written ads, personally, I've noticed a habit sometimes where I forget to include a call to action. There should always be a call to action in your ad. And the reason why is because obviously you need to tell people what the action you want them to take or the action they will be taking if they click your ad. WordStream actually came out with this report right here that you see in front of us. So this popular CTAs in top performing ads. I'll link this article down below, but I thought this was interesting. So they analyzed a bunch of ads and found that the most popular or highest performing Google ads with CTAs. Get had the highest, so there was 35 of them that had get, 20 that had buy, 18 had shop, and then you can kind of read the list all the way down. Click there being at the end. I think click kind of has a negative connotation, so it's not surprising to me that one was one of the least performing. So always include a CTA in your ads, and then always match your call to action inside of your ad with what you're seeing on the landing page, which I think, again, is for obvious reasons, is you want the user experience to be seamless all the way through. So just a couple of tips there inside of the call to action in tip number 1. And let's move on now to tip number 2. So the next one is to match ad copy with search terms, which is a very obvious thing as well. Is obviously if I'm searching for keto diets and keto diets for beginners, and the first ad that I see actually matches the search term that I'm looking for, and it's inside of the ad there, I'm more likely to click on that ad. Or same with email marketing software. So make sure that you're always sprinkling your keywords inside of your headlines, inside of your descriptions, inside of your site link extensions, essentially everywhere you can. And to help sometimes automate that process, or to make sure that you're almost always showing the search phrase, this is the search phrase right here, in your ad headline, I recommend using ad modifiers, which is tip number 3 actually, is using ad modifiers when possible. Now, for those who aren't familiar with what ad modifiers are, I'm actually going to jump into a demo account here. And as you can see, we have this ad, and I have a couple of different headlines that are just standard headlines. But a lot of people don't know is if you click inside of here and you actually hit shift and then you hit your little brackets button, you'll get this little curly option. Once you hit that, you'll notice that 3 different options appear here. We have keyword insertion, countdown, and location insertion. Now, the most popular one that I actually use here is the keyword insertion. And what this does is it will take whatever the user searches in their browser in Google and actually dynamically insert it into your ad. So say they're looking for red shoes, it will show up red shoes on the ad. Or if they're searching for blue shoes, it will take their search term and automatically populate it in there. So I have the curly brackets open. I click on this keyword insertion here, and you'll notice that it comes up with default text. Now what this is if for whatever reason Google can't dynamically insert that keyword into your ad, say that the character length is too long or whatever it may be, you need to come up with some default text. So let's say in this case that best PPC agency. I know really crappy copy, but it works. And I want this to be title case. And what that means is every word is capitalized in between. As you can see here is like that, or you can do sentence case or lowercase. Best practice for me is I always like to do title case. So we can put that there. And if for whatever reason that keyword is too long or doesn't fit in there, then it will show best PPC agency. Now with Google, you'll notice that, and I'm going to give you a couple bonus tips here, and this is number 3 tip for writing Google ads, is you'll notice that Google can essentially, with these headlines, they can show them in any order that they seem is the best, right? So you'll see that here it kind of mixes between headlines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If for whatever reason you wanted this headline to show up first every single time, you can actually click on this little pin right here. And you notice that right now it's optimized to show up in any unpinned position, which is what Google recommends, which most of the time I do recommend as well, because then it can test different options, see what fits best for your users. But if you wanted for whatever reason this to show up in position 1, you could do so. So, right, so you say, I want this specific headline to show up in position 1, and then you could pin right here, I want this one to show up in position 2, and have a more customized experience, or a more set in stone experience for when Google is showing your ads. Like I said, I don't really typically recommend that, but something I think is important for this tutorial. So we're going to edit this back. And you notice as I'm doing this, it's actually changing my score over here. Now, when you are writing Google ads, I do recommend trying to get this to excellent every single time. So filling up this box, it's kind of satisfying when it does go all the way through. You notice that it's telling me that I need to add more headlines, or I need to make more unique headlines or make more descriptions. And it gives you a couple of suggestions up here, but sometimes those suggestions are good, sometimes they're bad. And you can go through and view more ideas. Another tip that I do have is you can also go through and if you're kind of hitting a roadblock or a brain block, essentially, I'll actually come to over here to a software called Snazzy.ai. They have a free account option that gives you a certain amount of credits. I only use the free version. You can pay for it if you'd like. I can link this down below, but the free plan generally gets you what you need. Now, this is like an AI kind of copywriting thing. When I'm running into roadblocks, basically I'll come over here and I'll edit my profile, ask for your company name. So when you come in here, it'll have this option. You come to profile, you can put your company, and then for here, let's say we want to say, digital marketing agency. And there's our keyword, and then ask for your audiences. So you can add your audiences there, and then you can write a description. I'm not going to for the purpose of this, just to make it kind of quick. And then you hit save. And then what it's going to do is it's going to, you can create here. It'll use one of your credits, but it will write a couple of different headlines for you. Now, I don't recommend just copying these headlines and putting them inside of there or the descriptions, but if you're hitting kind of a brain fart, so to speak, and you just can't get past the copywriting, which happens to me very often, especially if you have big accounts or a lot of accounts and you're writing lots of ad copy, this sometimes helps kind of spark ideas and get things that you can pull from. So for instance, affordable marketing solutions, that's like a great headline right here that I could use, come over to this ad and make this more unique. So I'll come back over here, I'll add this, and now we're getting a couple of more unique headlines in there, as you can see, and you can repeat this process all the way through for your description and for your headlines. Now, back to the ad modifiers is if you come over here, there are the other two that I'm not going to cover as in depth for this purpose of the tutorial, but you do have a countdown one. Like if you're running a sale, 10 hours left in this sale, 4 hours left in this sale, whatever it may be. And then also location insertion. This is good if you're trying to localize your ad for a specific city or state or region or whatever it may be. So a couple of different modifiers you can use to help really improve and the conversion rate and the click-through rate of your ads. Now, back to our regular scheduled 7 tips. I know that tip 3 had like 4 different tips inside of there, but we're going to go back now to back on schedule, which the next one is to use the Google Ads test variant tool. Now, going back to Google is we're going to come over here, and when you're inside of the account, essentially with digital marketing, with everything, the best way to find the best copy, the best landing pages, the best things that convert is to test. The best way to test it for Google Ads is to use their Google Ads variation tool. And it's kind of hidden in here, so I want to make sure that everyone knows how to find that. So when we're inside of Google Ads, you're going to come in here to all campaigns, and then you're going to scroll down and you're going to come here to this drafts and experiments. And underneath this drafts experience, you'll notice that here there's ad variations. And when we click on that, it's going to then have this little blue plus. And if you have run some variations before, you'll see them inside of here, but we're going to hit this plus. And then it's going to ask which campaigns we want to make changes to. We're going to select a specific one here, this one that's just paused in this demo account. And then it's going to ask which kind of ads we want to change or test. So you can have your responsive ads or your text ads. For this example, we're going to do the responsive ads. We're going to hit continue. And then you can do a lot of different things. And I'm not going to cover too much because I don't want to go too in depth into this video. But essentially what you can do is you can come in here and find and replace specific headlines, or you can update URLs, or you can update text completely. And you can do this in a couple of different places. So say I wanted to update the text and I wanted to do it in the description or headline, or I wanted to find and replace, and I want to do that in all of these different options. So you can do it in the description, headlines, path 1, path 2, final URL, final mobile URL, all these different options that you can go through and change. So for the example here, though, we're just going to update text. We're going to go headline, and we're going to add this action, and we are going to say, this is a test headline. And I didn't do it camel case, but that's all right. And then you hit continue, and then it will ask for a split when you want to start the test variation and how much of traffic you want to go to that. And then in the end, of course, you'll just hit create variant. This will put your ads in a controlled environment where they'll get the same amount of traffic, or depending on how much you allocate to them, to see which ones are winning and which ones are losing. And ultimately, this is really the secret weapon or the secret sauce to really have the best converting ads, is to constantly be testing. Sometimes it's easy to forget to test your ads, but this is the best way to do it and the best way to really have high converting ads. So that's tip number 4. And now we're going back over to our handy slides here that I've created. I know they're very pretty. We're coming back over to number 5, which is to integrate power words into your ad copy. This, I got a tip again from WordStream. WordStream is an incredible resource. I'll make sure to link this article down below, but they did kind of the same analysis with the CTAs, and they found that these are the words that top performing ads had in them. So words like your, free, now, get, online, are, save, best, shipping, you, kind of self-explanatory, right? As you think about it, these are words that you commonly see in ads. So just keep those in mind when you are writing your ad copy to integrate these quote unquote power words inside of them. Now, tip number, what number we're at? It's number 6. I didn't put it on my slides here, but tip number 6 is to use numbers or statistics as much as you can. For whatever reason, because we're so used to seeing characters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G on ads. Whenever there's a number or whatever it may be, at least my eye and most people's eyes tend to gravitate towards those numbers. So things like number 1 or $0 a month or 24/7 customer service or join X amount of businesses. These are a couple of examples or things that you can throw into your ads to really kind of help catch users' eyes and help improve that click-through rate. So look for opportunities to add numbers or statistics into your ads whenever possible. And the last tip, and one that's actually very helpful too, is to spy on your competitors' ads. Now, this is good because a lot of times your competitors are testing a lot of variants. A lot of times your competitors are running the ads because it's what's working. And so if you're starting a new account or wanting to get a fresh new eye on idea for copy, a good thing to do is to go and look at what's working for your competitors. All right, and the tool that I typically use to spy on my competitors' ads and to spy on a lot of other stuff too, this tool has a lot of different data that you can pull and learn a lot about what your competitors are doing, but it's called SEM Rush. They do have a free trial that you can go through and run and do all the analysis that you need. You can try and get it done in the trial period and then cancel the trial if you need to. I have a link down below to that if you're interested. I do have the paid version for SEM Rush just because I think it is very useful. So something to maybe consider if you are getting serious about digital marketing and running stuff. But we're going to come to here, and when you sign in and you get your free trial, you're going to notice that there's this advertising tab. We're going to come to this advertising tab, and then we're going to click on ad history. And that's where I'm at right now. All you need to do is type in the keyword that you want to search for. So for here, we're going to search for decorative pillows is the keyword that we want to see. All the different ads that have run for it. We're going to hit search here. And check this out. I love this. So it gives you all of the different competitors that have ever really bid on this in the last 2 years or a year and a half, whatever it would be. So you can go through and look at all the different ones. And then it shows you the ads that they ran and the months that those ads ran. So in August 2020, for instance, overstock.com, I could click here and I can see all of the copy that they ran for decorative pillows in that month, and then how they changed it in February, what it turned to in March, and then in April. This gives you an idea of what they're testing, maybe getting an idea of what's working well for them. So you could go through and you could spend a lot of time going and checking on all of these ads and looking to see what the themes are and what really works for the keyword that you're wanting to rank for. And that's another great way to kind of get ideas for ad copy. Obviously, you don't want to just copy and paste what your competitors are doing, but it gives you an idea and another way to just kind of get your brain flowing on thoughts for what to be writing. That is everything that I have for you today. Thank you so much if you stuck around to the end today. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. And thank you all for the support, and we'll see you in the next video.